Hello, Amusement Park Portal. Welcome to our first blog of 2024. And, well, I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas and New Year's. I know we did. We've been quite busy around here, running around, doing family things. And, we actually got down to Winterfest for, unfortunately, only one day this year. The weather didn't want to cooperate our other chances that we had to go down. But nonetheless, we had a great holiday season, and I hope you and your family did as well. So let's get going on this first blog. So let's start out with, Top Thrill 2. Lots of news since we had our last blog. The ride is now testing. That's right, we got pictures of this thing testing. As you can see here in these pictures that Cedar Point supplied off their daily, or I shouldn't say daily, their Top Thrill 2 video that they put out. We grabbed some screen captures here to show you, and wow, look at this, amazing. I'll tell you, they are moving right along on this thing, although they really didn't have a lot to do. I mean, essentially most of the ride was still there, with the exception of the tower and then the pieces they removed from the station area. And they just kind of like took them out, refurbished them, put them right back in, built the tower. I mean, that was probably the hardest part. So yeah, I'm hoping this thing's ready to go by opening day, and from the looks of it, it looks like it's gonna be, which I'm really excited to ride this thing in the spring. And speaking of which, the park has put out a couple special events here. We're gonna show them right here. They have a Eclipse in the park going on. Now, the park's normally not open on these dates, but they are opening it up just to certain areas of the boardwalk there, certain rides, and the Grand Pavilion are going to be open for you to check out the solar eclipse. And here's what the park posted right here about the event. And in addition to that, back to Top Thrill 2, they're also having a pass holder preview for Top Thrill 2. And again, with both of these, you have to check out the park's official website to get more up-to-date information on this. I'm just posting what's currently available here. And I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to both these events. We definitely plan on visiting the park for both these events, given that we're able to get in. I mean, they may have a limit on tickets or do like a raffle. We don't know yet. None of that information's been released, but we're definitely looking forward to these two events, and we're going to be there. Big rumors out of King's Dominion. Now, mind you, these are only rumors. Normally, I don't post too many rumors, but this one seems quite strong, of a launch B&M wing coaster. Kind of similar to Holiday World, what they have there. And they're, what is that called? Thunderbird, I believe that's called. And that's a wonderful ride. It's the only one of its type that's launched like that. And I got to tell you, I really enjoyed Thunderbird, and it's not a bad replacement for Volcano, although nothing ever matched up to Volcano. Volcano was a very unique coaster with the volcano shooting out the top and the fireball and all that. It was very unique, but this is bound to be a crowd pleaser. This is going to be a very popular coaster. I did see some blueprints. I don't know if they're legit or not, so I'm not going to post them on here, just for that reason. I'm going to let the park do all that stuff when they're ready to announce it. But again, rumors at this point. And if they are to be true, then it's a great addition for this park. Although, let me tell you, this park's got a great coaster lineup. The one thing I believe they are lacking is some type of inverted coaster. That's right. I know like Carowinds, Kings Island, all the former Paramount parks all have an inverted coaster except for King's Dominion. And I just find that kind of weird. I don't know if that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you think that's kind of odd or if they need one. I think this, if these rumors are true of this being a wing coaster, it's a great addition. However, I thought that maybe an inverted coaster would be an even better addition. But either way, I'm happy with either addition, which ones they go for. So Winterfest and New Year's Eve events have wrapped up at several parks, and they all seem to be a big success this year. Like I said, we mentioned a few minutes ago, we went down to Kings Island for their Winterfest event, and it was slammed. I mean, I don't even think it was that busy on 4th of July weekend when we were down like at Cedar Point and that. The crowds were there. I mean, there was an hour plus long lines for the coasters. There's just people everywhere. If you watch our Winterfest video here on our YouTube channel, I show a little bit of the crowds and that how busy they were. That's great for the parks. That can only mean that this event is a success, and hopefully we see it expanded in the future. Maybe some more ride offerings and whatnot. But totally impressed with Kings Island this year. That was the only one we were able to get to this year. But wow, totally blown away. I mean, all the food options they had, the shows were top notch. Kudos to Kings Island's entertainment director there. He did a wonderful job. He or she, excuse me, did a wonderful job. The Tinkers show, they moved it over to the theater this year, which is a perfect fit for in there. I mean, they had several showings throughout the night, and it was a packed house just about every showing. So they have a new show in the Fest House this year. It was like kind of like a swing dance Christmas type music. We caught the tail end of it. That was one thing we did find out about the event is all the show times, all the shows started at the same time. So there really wasn't a way to stagger them all to where you can catch most of them in one night. It was either you can catch these two shows and that was it. You know, I mean, there was no hit this show, then go to the next one. This one. You would only be able to see a couple shows that way. So that was the only bummer. I hope they look at that in the future, maybe stagger those show times out a little bit. But only complaint I have, I mean, we tried some food. The food was delicious. Everything was wonderful. The parade just blew me away. I mean, that was like top-notch parade. Really good job, you know, the park did with that. So, and other news back up here in Michigan, CJ Barrymore's, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it's a family entertainment center in, I guess it'd be Clinton Township, Michigan. They have a couple coasters. They have some go-kart tracks. They're currently building one of those 3-story go-kart tracks like you see at the Fun Spot locations. I mean, this park has all the makings of a Fun Spot. I think the only thing they're missing is maybe that bigger coaster, you know. Currently, they have one of those SBF Visa spinning coasters, which are a lot of fun. A lot of fun in a small package. Several go-karts. They have a drop tower, mini golf. They have bungee, zip line. You know, golf driving range, all types of things, bumper boats, bumper cars, big arcade, laser tag, all types of fun to be had there. But the other coaster that they have is their Panfari looping coaster, as you can see here in the pictures. So with this coaster, well, we just found it up for sale. Yes, that's right. They're selling this coaster. The park has not announced anything at this time. We just happened to stumble across this listing. Like I said, the park has not announced anything, whether they're going to replace the coaster with another coaster or if this coaster is just going away. Nothing's replaced. We don't know. But interesting nonetheless, because this coaster, I think they added it like 5-6 years ago. They added this coaster. So it'll be interesting to see what the park decides to do. I mean, this park has the writings of a Fun Spot written all over it. I would not be surprised in the future if CJ Barrymore's is acquired by Fun Spot. I mean, it's top tier. It's a really, really nice FEC. And if you're ever out in this area, highly recommend you go check it out. Definitely worth the stop. A lot of fun. So we got some more rumors out of Six Flags Over Texas regarding another lot ride may be leaving the park soon. The El Diablo, like the Larson Loop ride, is rumored to be leaving. Again, another rumor. Nothing's been said by the park or confirmed by the park or anything like that. We're just hearing this from a lot of different directions that this Larson Loop may be leaving the park soon. Again, nothing's confirmed, but it is right there next to the log flume, which is supposedly getting remodeled this year or refurbished. They're supposed to be having a major refurbishment on the log flume, which is also good news. It's the first log flume in the world, you know, at Six Flags Over Texas. So we're looking forward to that, getting back there hopefully next year to Six Flags Over Texas. So we'll see. It's kind of odd. This park has been removing a lot of flat rides lately. I thought it was because of age, but no, the last couple flat rides, well, including this one, if it comes to be true, are newer flat rides, like the Harley Quinn, which is one of those. I don't know what the technical term for it is. It's got like the dueling loops and it goes around and the car flips. But it's a fun ride, although I could just see it being a maintenance nightmare. A lot of moving parts on that ride. So, on to Silver Dollar City. The last rides were given on Fire in the Hole the other night, and it was so busy, they had to cut the line off at 8 p.m. There were so many people there to ride this thing. As you know, they're building a new Fire in the Hole ride, which is like indoor coaster, dark ride type thing. And we showed the cars here, which we found at IAPA this year. These were posted by Silver Dollar City here. And this is one ride I'm really, really looking forward to riding in the spring when it opens up. This looks like a lot of fun. And I can't wait to get back down to Silver Dollar City, top-notch park. Real kind of similar to Dollywood. If you've ever been to Dollywood, Silver Dollar City is like the sister park to Dollywood. They're kind of equivalent, but I think, I don't know if you agree with me or not, Silver Dollar City kind of edges out Dollywood as far as coasters go, more thrilling coasters, but there's other aspects of Dollywood that, outperform Silver Dollar City too, and vice versa. So both of them are great parks. I love them both. So, okay, on to, if I'm saying this like Coda or Coda Land down in Texas, in Austin, Texas there, I can't figure that out if I'm saying it right, but the Circuit Breaker coaster, which is one of those Vekoma tilt coasters, where you go up the lift, you stop, and the whole track that you're sitting on tilts and then just drops you down, and you go through the rest of the circuit of the coaster. Well, track pieces have arrived. Yes, that's right. We have track pieces have arrived. And so that's good news. Construction is starting on this coaster. I have not been on a tilt coaster yet. There's only one other in the country. I want to say it's over in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look that up. But I don't know. This is one coaster. I'll ride it, but I mean, this is one coaster that kind of gets me thinking a little bit. Like, how safe can this thing be? I mean, your life is in the hands of whatever's holding that train onto the track while it's tilting till it gets completely vertical and then lets you go. If there's any kind of failure on there, I don't know, it just crosses my mind, but I'm sure it's perfectly safe. Otherwise, they wouldn't be building one, right? But yeah, that's just the one coaster that I have concerns in the back of my mind about, that a lot of things could go wrong. What do you think? Are you on the same page as me? I mean, it won't stop me from riding it, but yeah, it's in the back of my mind, nonetheless. Okay, New Year's and Christmas are over with, so now we got to look forward to Mardi Gras. That's right. Some parks will be preparing Mardi Gras events very soon, including Universal Studios. Their Mardi Gras event begins February 3rd. It's included with your park admission. Epic Universe is also starting to come along, speaking of Universal. It's starting to really look like a theme park now. They're testing rides. I know one of the flat ride, where you control the car and you can spin it. Those were caught on video the other day testing, and a couple of the coasters are already testing there as well. They're putting in landscaping in certain areas. There's lots of trees going in that. This is going to just be a huge hit when the park opens. I mean, it's a huge park. They got several hotel resorts right there on site. I think there's 3 of them. Well, there's 3 of them right there on property, which is just, there's 2 of them. Stella Nova, I think is one's called. And there's another one kind of similar to that. And then there's one basically right inside the park there as well. I'm just so looking forward to this. Like I said, if you already haven't started planning for this park, I'd do it now. This park is scheduled to open in 2025 sometime, but if you're going to go, I know they haven't announced an opening date yet. I would plan later 2025. Book your hotels, your flights, whatever you got to do now to get in there. Now, I don't know if they're going to have pass holder previews. I assume they will. Most parks do before it opens to the public. And that's probably going to go on at least a month or so. And I can only imagine the demand to get tickets for this park once it does open. It's going to be absolute madhouse. So I'll probably wait a month or two before I go down there after opening, just so they get the bugs worked out of things and we're able to ride everything and the crowds kind of mellow out a little bit. And speaking of Universal, interesting tidbit came out the other day. They're removing paper maps from the park. They're going all digital. So you're going to have to pull out your phone and look at the show times, park maps, all that stuff. Mobile food ordering, everything's going to be done on your phone now. And to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of it. I enjoyed having a paper map for many reasons. It's just much easier, like Disney here, for example, much easier for me to pull out a paper map out of my pocket and go, oh, look, here's the show times right here. It tells me all the show times. I got an instant map of the park. I'm not chewing through my phone battery. I mean, it's just so much easier. Plus, you got kind of a little souvenir to take home with you as well. With the phone, I don't want to be on my phone all day. Now, I like certain aspects of it, like the mobile food ordering. We used that in the past. That works out good at most parks, not all. That was good. I don't want to go on there to have to look up show times and things like that. Choose through your battery. I don't want to be on the phone all day. It's just much easier to pull this out of my pocket and look. Again, what do you think? Let me know, again, down in the comments what you think about that. So, on to the next one. We got Six Flags Cedar Fair merger. Should be finalized, they're saying sometime early spring. I mean, of course, that's subject to change. I wouldn't expect any changes. I mean, many or if any changes this year you see coming up. I wouldn't see it expecting until 2025, to be honest with you. It's going to take them time to get everything figured out, figure out what they're going to do with each park and rename, if they're going to rename them, the theming, if the Peanuts and Looney Tunes, Marvel, all that's, or DC rather, are going to get put into what parks and what they're going to do. So again, 2025 at the earliest is when I see that, and possibly an all park pass. Looking forward to that, an all park pass. But since the announcement, both park chains, their stocks have skyrocketed over roughly $5 or more a share. Six Flags has gone up over $5 a share. Cedar Fair is over $5 a share. So if you're a stockholder, good times for either of those parks, which is great news. I mean, heck, I'm excited about this. I know some people are a little concerned. I would not be concerned. If anything, this is really going to help the Six Flags parks out some. They've had some struggles recently, which really weren't their fault. This goes back to all the multiple sales that the park has had over the years and the debt load that's collected with every single sale. If it wasn't for that, this park chain would be thriving. It would be one of the top park chains. So, and it still is. I mean, we have a great time when we go to Six Flags. No complaints. Let's see. On to Dorney Park and Iron Menace. As you can see in these pictures, the ride has been topped off and the first drop has been put into place. We are really looking forward to getting back to Dorney to ride this thing next year, Iron Menace. Looks like a great addition to the park, albeit a little on the short side. I think that's kind of weird. I think this is the shortest dive coaster there is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wow, yeah, it just looks like it goes up. It's got like a inversion there, goes through a hill, another inversion or two, and then it's pretty much done. But it looks like a blast. I love the theming of it, which fits right in with the local lore there. Those steel mills and that. Pennsylvania is really known for that in the past. So we got pictures of the trains here too, which will be making their way from Europe real soon. These pictures were posted by B&M just the other day. And wow, trains are looking wonderful. All right, speaking of progress, SeaWorld Orlando's new Penguin Truck family B&M coaster is coming along quite well. Lots of track pieces have been put in place. I would expect this coaster to be done by March, April, as far as track work and testing goes. So I would think maybe a late spring, early summer opening, depending on how long it takes them to do the theming and whatnot on this coaster. But it's coming right along. Speaking of B&M family coasters, there's been a rumor of Busch Gardens Williamsburg adding an inverted B&M family coaster as well, which, wow, I'm kind of surprised. You heard all kinds of rumors going on. They're going to add a RMC, some kind of record-breaking RMC. I've heard a Giga coaster. I've heard all kinds of things. Now the latest rumor is a B&M family inverted coaster that kind of gives respect to Big Bad Wolf, which was the aero-suspended coaster that they had there years ago. It's going to kind of do a similar thing as Big Bad Wolf did. It's really giving me strong vibes of that coaster. It's interesting how a lot of parks are building these smaller, or I should say Busch SeaWorld parks are building a lot of these smaller B&M family coasters. But that park chain, they've really been a fan of the B&M coasters, and why not? They put out a great product, including Busch Gardens Tampa. They're building that family inverted coaster as well. I love them. They're a lot of fun, B&M coasters. A lot of people complain about them. They don't like the restraints, but, that can be said with any coaster. There's always going to be a group of people that don't like restraints on this coaster or don't like them on that coaster. Regardless what coaster it is or what coaster manufacturer it is, there's always a group of people that don't like that specific restraint. It has a lot to do with the way you're built and whatnot, so totally get it. But yeah, interesting that these B&M family coasters are taking off like they are. So okay, on a final note, we're starting our 2024 travel plans, getting them all set. We're going to be traveling out west to California soon. The plan is to hit a bunch of parks, including California's Great America, before they close down. It'll probably be our first and unfortunately last visit to this park. It's one of the few parks left in the country we haven't been to, just because it's kind of out of the way a little bit, but we're definitely going to get there this year, whether it be on a weekend trip or the Ace CoasterCon is going to be there this year. Is it 46, 47, 45? I don't know, something in there, which is an awesome event they put on every year. We're going to try to do that, but if we're not able to do, I think that's a week or two, that event. It's several different parks. I don't know if we're going to be able to spend that much time in California, but we are definitely going to make it to California's Great America regardless. The list of parks we're going to be visiting out there is not complete yet, but I can tell you it's definitely going to include Knott's, Magic Mountain, and we've got a couple on the back burner like SeaWorld out there. We've got Universal, we got Disney, and maybe Discovery Kingdom if we're close to California's Great America too. So that's going to be our big trip this year. Instead of Florida, we're going to be doing California this year due to California's Great America. So other parks we're kind of looking at, some in Pennsylvania, Kennywood, Hershey Park, love Hershey Park, Dorney Park and Carowinds, and of course going to sneak over there Knoebels. No trip to Pennsylvania is complete without Knoebels. So speaking of Knoebels, we're looking at a couple parks, and Knoebels is one of them, for doing our first ever amusement park portal meetup. Now I'm trying to get some pricing for this, but unfortunately with a lot of these parks we've been calling around, the 2024 catering pricing and all that's not released yet. So I can't get dates and pricing and that together until that's released. We're trying to keep it inexpensive for everybody. And we're kind of leaning at Knoebels a little bit because it's free to get in, so nobody's going to have to buy a ticket to get into the park unless you want to ride the rides. We're going to try to keep it within the $20 to $25 range per person for your meals. And if we're able to get any ERT, guest speakers, or anything like that, we're going to include all that in there as well. We're going to have all kinds of giveaways, prizes, things like that. So stay tuned for more information on that. Once information starts leaking out on pricing and that, we'll have a better grasp on what we're going to be doing there. So that's all we got for you this week. We're heading into the winter season here up north. We don't have any coasters to ride, which is a real bummer. If I wanted to ride a coaster, I'm going to have to fly down to Florida or Mall of America or California or something to ride a coaster, which is a real bummer. So I may just have to fly out to Mall of America here soon. I don't know. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching our latest video blog. And don't forget to please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps us out in that. So we really appreciate you watching. And we look forward to doing our next video blog here pretty soon. I'll talk to you later.